Time for something a little different. Winter camping in the Bighorn Backcountry.
Yeah, we don't have any videos of us being back here.
No. We've been here before. It usually ends really poorly, but we'll get into that later in the video. We're just doing a one-night overnight trip up around the Cline River. Got Cosley the Adventure Dog with us. Got big, really heavy backpacks, although not as heavy as I was expecting, I gotta say. With food and water and everything, it's still like 35, 36 pounds, something like that minus. So not bad at all. Not a ton of snow on the ground, so we're not bringing snowshoes or anything. We have them, we're deciding not to use them. It should be fun. It's a beautiful day. A little overcast, but probably about 0 degrees right now, and it's just nice to be out. We were needing this, I think, so it's gonna be good. Let's get these beasts on and get on the trail. So we're heading up on the Pinto Lake Trail towards Pinto Lake, although we will not be going that far. But we are pretty much following it up until we decide we want to stop, wherever that's going to be.
Or turn off.
Turn off. There are some options, places we can duck off the trail. Random camping's allowed in here, so pretty much wherever we feel like winter camping. It's our first winter camping trip, so we brought way too much stuff for sure, because we don't want to die. It's about 0 degrees right now. It's supposed to drop down to about 10 below tonight, but it's supposed to feel closer to 15 below, which, I mean, it's getting kind of chilly. Definitely the coldest we've ever slept in, so we've got some gear to help with that. Should be a fun trip. It's quite pretty, and it's going to be quiet. There's one vehicle in the parking lot, which I'm assuming is someone out fat biking. There's these pretty fresh looking tracks here. Yeah, I guess we'll see. We might run into someone, but there's a pretty good chance we won't see anybody on this trip. Have the whole area to ourselves. Feels like the right call to leave the snowshoes behind. Just rocking the heavy winter boots. Even those are a little bit overkill for this. Well, a lot of overkill for this day, for today. Although they should keep me nice and toasty when we get to camp. For the trip, we're pretty much just doing a hike into the woods, spend a night, and then head back out tomorrow. I'll be back at work on Monday, so. I'm just getting a little antsy. It's been a while since we've been out, and not quite ski season yet, although the hills are starting to open up this weekend. And I just need to get out, recharge. Felt like I was in a bit of a rut the last couple of weeks. Things have been just kind of stagnant, going through the motions. So, just felt like I needed to get out into nature and recharge my batteries a little bit. This is OD Creek, short for Oh Damn. Seriously.
Something about a plane crash or something?
Yeah, there was, the Royal Air Force was doing exercises in this area, and a vicious downdraft sort of knocked one of the planes out of the sky. It crashed along this creek bed somewhere up here. Apparently, there's not much to see of it though, because being the industrious folk they are, the soldiers came in and carried all the pieces out. They didn't want to waste the plane, I guess. Little camp spot right here if you want. We're gonna keep going a little bit further along.
Yeah, we haven't been hiking for like an hour.
Yeah. What time is it?
1.
1 o'clock. Okay. So we want to try to find camp probably by like 3, so we can have some time to actually get camp set up and collect some firewood. This area is pretty popular with random campers, so that might be a bit of a challenge, honestly. It's like a for sure good camping spot, but finding firewood there might be a little bit tricky. So we're just gonna have to play it by ear. Don't really have a set plan, which, I mean, winter camping might not be the best idea to be kind of winging it on your first winter camping trip, but we have been in this area before, so we have a pretty good idea what we're doing. This right here, this was the site of our very first backcountry camp. We spent the night here. When was that, 2014? But it's cool to come full circle. It's a nice little camp spot.
It is a nice little camp
nice
spot.
And flat, got a fire pit. I'm half tempted to just set up camp right there. But
I don't really want to go up that hill on the other side.
let's see where we're headed.
More likely,
over
I
there.
don't want to come down it with the big backpack.
So when we came through here at spring all those years ago, this is the path that we took up. And at the top of this there's a campsite, and then the trail drops down to the area where we stayed. But the bikers, the people who were riding along here, they dropped down here and went down towards the river. Now if I remember correctly, what we did is we went up here and then we dropped down towards the river, and it was impassable going along the river. And we had to go backtrack along this ridge, this direction. Does that sound right?
You recollect, collect.
Correct. Which means
English.
we need to go up here.
Well,
I don't remember it being this steep, but
it wasn't covered in snow the last time we did this.
yeah, you can see a little switchbacky trail going up through there. All right, trekking poles are coming out. Dani's making her way up the tricky part like a pro. Very smooth. Cosley was wondering what's taking us so long. From here on out, we're breaking trail, looks like. Yay. Unless we want to stop just up here, because there's a nice camp spot right at the top of this hill.
Hey, you can see all the way to Abraham Lake.
Oh yeah. Good eye. There's Abraham Lake poking through over there. Love those mountains in behind. That's gorgeous.
Yeah, it's okay. It's pretty awesome. What do you think, bud?
So this
You're happy with the plan?
is the direction we want to be going. Unless we want to stop and just camp right over here, because there is a campsite in there. Or if we want to drop down here, and there's another campsite down there somewhere. What are you feeling? Got about 3 hours till the sun goes down.
It is 2 o'clock.
I want to say, what, another hour to get to the
Big camp?
big camp?
Probably.
Gives us 2 hours to try to find firewood and stuff.
There's no real water access here.
That's true. We'd be melting snow if we're up here. So, keep going. Okay. We're going to keep going. Nice little view, for sure. Camping up on top of a ridge here. But, yeah, the big thing is no water up here. So, we would have to collect and melt snow, which is fine. I mean, we can do that. Just rather not. Well, this looks like home for the evening. Got some benches, little fire pit. Probably set up the tent maybe over here, so it's a little bit away from everything. And the river's right there, so it'll be easy to get water.
Really, really cold water.
Really cold water. yeah, should be a good spot, I think. Even if it's not the ideal spot, it'll do. And right now I'm pretty hungry, so I just want to be able to stop and grab a little bit of lunch, a little late lunch. Cosley's trying to eat a tree. Okay, unfortunately, somewhere in there is the cooking stuff, so I need to dig that out. Here's something we haven't seen in a while. We haven't busted this thing out since our Glacier National Park trip a couple years ago. It's the MSR Whisperlight Universal. We have it set up so that it will burn with the isopropyl little canisters rather than liquid fuel, which is nice. Trying to remember how I do this. You just turn it on and light it, and then flip it over, and it'll go into heating mode.
I feel like that's likely.
So yeah, you just fire it up like that. It's gonna heat up the little element, this little ring over here. And then when you flip the canister over, it's just gonna pour through as liquid. It's gonna hit that superheated little element. It's gonna vaporize and it's gonna shoot out over a flamethrower. It's much more efficient for lower temperatures. It's a little bit precarious on this thing. There's a little cooking grate we found laying around here. Feels sturdy enough to get the job done. Just as extra
Careful.
efficiency.
Careful.
Toss that bad boy on there. Boom, that should be boiling in no time.
What are we having for lunch?
Ramen noodles.
Ramen.
With ramen rescue.
What are you having for lunch, Cosley? Delicious pig's ear? I'm sure it's almost gone.
Destroying that thing. Oh. Fun little hike. Nice little camp spot.
Yeah, not too bad.
Weather's beautiful.
As far as our first winter camp, it's about perfect for temperature-wise.
We're going to show you some other stuff as we go along. I brought equipment that I think will keep me comfortable and safe down to about 25 or 30 below zero. And we're only supposed to see about -10, so should be plenty comfy.
And worst comes to worst, we can snuggle and then make the dog snuggle with us.
Yeah.
Because he's a heat radiator.
Yeah, so
And wearing a fur coat.
we're going to do this first, a little bit of lunch, because I got to get some calories in me. I'm really hungry. And then it will be time to hunt for firewood.
Are you gonna help, Cosdog? Cosley,
It would
stay
be
here.
a shame.
Hey.
Back up. It would be a shame to waste this lovely little camp spot, fire pit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good night. Oh, sorry, bud. Is that the biggest stick you've ever seen, Cosley? The problem with picking such a well-established camp spot, this firewood is very picked over. I had to do a little trek into the woods to find a nice dead tree that was about the right size so that I could take her apart. So it's going to be a few trips back and forth along here. At least it'll keep me warm for the time being. I'm not one who typically gets too bushcrafty when we're out on these adventures, but it is going to be chilly tonight, and I feel like winter camping, you gotta make the exception. So I brought a real knife so I could break down a little bit of firewood. This is like the rest of the big logs. Busted all this down with the saw there, folding saw. Got a little bit of fat wood that we brought from home. That's just like really resin impregnated wood that burns beautifully. That's gonna be what gets it going. I did baton down a little bit of stuff, split a few logs, because hopefully if I'm having trouble getting all the smaller stuff going, the dry inner stuff from that will help me out. It has been a while since I built a fire, so got the fire pit cleared out a little bit, built a little platform of dry-ish logs there, so hopefully this is going to get going just fine. It is creeping up on 4:30ish, and probably going to be hiker midnight before too long, so that would be a good time to take you over and show you the Cline River. Get a real nice view right by our camp here. Not bad at all. Certainly a nice relaxing sound. Should sleep pretty well tonight, assuming we're not too cold. Following up along the river, Pinto Lake, Sunset Pass, which you can drop down on the other side. Sunset Pass is actually the Banff Park boundary, so beyond there you can go into Banff and drop down towards the Icefields Parkway. And off to the south of us is what's it called? I think it's Sentinel Creek. You follow that up, and then that takes you to Lake of the Falls and Landslide Lake, which I've got a little story about later. So yeah, just getting everything set up over here. Once we got everything ready to go, probably have a little snack and wait for the sun to go down before we get the fire going. It's not a ton of firewood, but it should be enough to last us this evening. We can't break down these bigger ones here if I need to, but I'm hoping not. We'll just leave those for the next people to come along. It was a pain in the butt to try to find a dead tree to break down. I had to hike a decent little ways and found one that was dead, but recently fell. It was kind of propped up with another tree, so yanking it down out of there was exhausting, and then breaking it down and carrying it back over here was even more exhausting. Got a good workout in. Ready to relax a little bit. Yeah, anyways. It's been a really good day so far. I'm super glad we came out here. We'll see what happens when the sun goes down and the temperature drops, but I think everyone's having fun. And this winter camping thing might be something we do again. Everyone nice and cozy in there?
Yes. Leslie was shivering, so because I love him, I wrapped him up in my down.
Aww. Poor little guy.
He'll be fine once he gets into the tent and sits on his mattress.
Yeah, we did bring a little Costco down blanket for the Cos dog, and he's got a Z-Lite pad that we will make sure that he stays on when we're out sitting by the fire. Yeah. He's a sleepy looking puppy. It seems like he had fun today though.
All tail wags the whole time.
Yeah. How about you? You have fun?
All tail wags. I don't have a tail.
Yeah, so this is the Sierra Designs Convert 3 tent set up with the Vestibule in winter mode. I'm not sure if I've showed this before or not. This Vestibule is optional, so you can leave it off and then the door there just kind of zips up with a cover inside, or you can bring it with you, and if you bring a nice large piece of Tyvek, you have a gigantic gear storage area. Yeah, so this is one of the main reasons we bought this particular tent, is because it is 4-season.
Yes.
Yep.
We wanted a 3-person tent so that we could fit the dog in.
Yep. There's 6 stakeout ports and then 6 guy lines on each side with 3 rainbow-shaped poles going across, and then 1 ridge pole going along the length of it. So this thing is really sturdy. It should be able to handle whatever light dusting of snow we might get this evening.
I didn't tie out the other ones.
The guy lines?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like way too much work today, so I just set up the inside of the tent.
Yeah, it gives you a little bit more space inside, not a huge amount, and obviously a lot more stability if you're worried about wind blowing through, but I mean, we're at camp, we will be in the tent, it's not going to blow away on us, so we're not going to bother doing that, because then I'd have to rebundle every line afterwards, and that just seems like a hassle. How's everything going in there? Everything set up? Ready to rock? Cool.
Just need whatever else you want out of your backpack.
Okay. Well, now that I've stopped chopping wood, I'm starting to get kind of cold, so I'm going to put a jacket on.
Yeah, you're just wearing your base layer.
Yeah, stripped down just to my merino wool base layer, because breaking down wood is hard work. Where did I hang up my fleece? Brought a lot of layers on this trip. I've got this separate set of base layer, top and bottom, for sleeping in. Fleece right here, and also a vest, a down vest, puffy vest, which is hanging up over here, my shell, and a gigantic, super puffy down jacket, Rab Neutrino Endurance, which I will be breaking out once the sun goes down, I'm sure. That thing should keep me toasty warm. Yeah, lots of layers on this trip. I packed a clothing system that I think would work down to about 30 below. And we're only supposed to see minus 15, maybe. So we'll see. We will see at the end of this weekend whether I feel comfortable taking it any colder than that. Cosley Doug's nestled up in his blanket there. Oh, he's gonna go for a little walk. Nope. Oh, he's gonna lay down. Yeah, get cozy, buddy. Get cozy. Get cozy next to the fire. Hey, it worked. A little touch and go there for a moment. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to get one going or not. But the little stuff is catching anyways. Good stuff. Danny's getting some water filtered up. And I mean, I'm not super hungry for dinner yet, but probably going to do that sooner rather than later.
Yep.
Just because...
Get some calories in, and Hiker Midnight will come soon.
Yeah, it's getting dark fast, and it's going to be a cold one. Feeling pretty comfortable right now. I haven't had to bust out any of my extra layers yet. Just the stuff that I hiked in with. I'm still pretty comfy, so that's good. Yeah. Danny went with regular old hiking boots and gaiters on the trip. Hike in was awesome, right?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. But now that we're at camp and not moving around so much, our toes are getting a little frosty. Mine are toasty warm because I'm wearing my gigantic,
next time I will bring my
heavyweight
legit snow boots.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they'll warm up just fine when we get you into some fluffy down goodness. Your minus 40 socks. Alright, this looks like it's going to go just fine. And, can't say I've ever been quite so excited to have a fire. It's going to be awesome.
It feels good.
Yeah, just
nice work.
A little bit of heat that it's throwing already. It's feeling pretty nice. So far, winter camping, great success. I feel like it's a lot less fun if you can't get a fire going.
Oh, yeah.
Got some water started for dinner. What are we having?
Chili mac. And not like the traditional chili mac. Alpine air chili.
Mm-hmm.
And Mountain House macaroni and cheese.
Ah. Fire's going nicely. Gonna get some calories in us. Probably gonna do 2 rounds here. We're gonna boil this for the food. Then we'll throw on a second load of water. Do a little bit of tea. Cosley's trying to get comfy over there. He's quickly learned that it's a lot warmer if he stays on his mat and underneath his blanket. So he seems pretty comfy over there. That's good.
That means that he will stay on his mat and under his blanket. Very nice.
Yeah. Fire is going okay so far. We don't have a ton of wood. I've already pretty much made up my mind. I'm not going to break down any more wood. So
logs over there for the next people.
There are, yeah.
That Evan was so nice about bringing over.
Yeah. So we'll get some firewood next time they come through here. You know, tin can there. It's not us. Neither is that one.
Leave no trace, people.
Yeah. I know it's a fire pit, but come on, a tin can.
I mean, if you want to do some beans over the fire or something, that's cool. Just pack out your shit. I mean, pack out your stuff.
Family-friendly show, Dani. It's okay, I can bleep it. Yeah, so, this is what our evening's gonna be like. Oh, I almost forgot. Okay, I will tell you the story of our previous trips to
Bighorn?
the Bighorn Backcountry and along this area. Okay, so I already mentioned the first one. Our first ever backcountry trip. We came through here. We went past where we are now. We were trying to get to Lake of the Falls, which is up south of here, just up into the mountains. We didn't really know what we were doing, and we had a really hard time following the trail because it got to a point where it pretty much had sloughed off into the creek down below it.
Well, the year before there was a lot of big flooding in Alberta.
Yeah.
And so I assumed that it had been washed away.
I think that was the case. It was pretty much ankle-deep mud on a 30-degree slope. It was awful. So
Anyway.
after that little bit, we pretty much lost the trail. We bailed. We turned around. We came back. Stayed at a campsite that we've dubbed Camp Ramen Noodle, which is up along that way.
We didn't stay at that one.
No. We stayed and ate ramen noodles.
Yes.
We came here and we stayed pretty much right where we are right now. So that was the first time the Bighorn Backcountry kicked our butts. The next time...
Granted, it was our first time ever in the backcountry.
True. The next time we came, we didn't even make it here because the area was on fire. That's later that same summer. We were going to come back with...
Oh, yeah.
And then we had to bail because south of here, pretty much... So there's Lake of the Falls and Landslide Lake up that direction to the south. And then there's a mountain. And on the other side of the mountain is the David Thompson Highway. And that part of the mountain was on fire. Or just the other side of the road was on fire. So
If you watch our Glacier Lake video, you see the...
Yeah, you see the remnant. I mentioned that in that one because you see the remnants of the burn there. That was the Spreading Creek fire. Yeah. Anyway, so that was the second time we tried to come here. No such luck. Then the following year, we're like, okay, we're going to come back. We're going to do this again. We're a little bit more seasoned. No problem. We're going to go May long weekend.
And we're going to go, this time, to Landslide Lake.
Landslide
But
Lake.
we're going to stop, we're going to camp, set up camp, and then go to Landslide Lake.
Yes.
We're not going to try and get all the way there and camp at Landslide Lake.
So we did camp at Camp Ramen Noodle.
Yes.
Yeah. So we set up there. At that point, it was probably 1 degree and sleeting. So we're like, well, we can't just sit here and camp. We got to go up and see this lake. So we went up, got completely soaked. We made it to the landslide that Landslide Lake gets its name from.
But
It was-
we were post-holing, like, knee-deep
Yeah.
on top of boulders.
It was May long weekend. It was still, knee-deep snow, and it was sleeting, and it was slippery, and we were trying to cross a boulder field, because, again,
We're done.
we're not so bright. So, I slipped through, twisted my knee, twisted my knee. We're like, okay, this is ridiculous and scary, so we're going to turn around. We're going to go back to camp and be intelligent human beings. We did. It was cold, miserable, wet.
We did have a fire.
Hmm?
We did build a fire that night.
No, we didn't.
Did we?
Nope. Everything was so soaked I couldn't get one going. So pretty much we were huddled underneath a tarp, trying to stay dry, shivering, just absolutely miserable. We were going to stay 2 nights. We woke up the next morning. Dani got a horrible nosebleed that would not stop bleeding.
Everywhere.
All over her sleeping bag, all over her clothes, all over everything.
Yep.
And we just said, F it. We're just getting out of here. We can't stay another night. Of course, on the way out, it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was like 15 degrees Celsius, warm, sunny.
Yeah.
Stopped raining.
Yeah.
We just went.
Yeah. So, anyways, that was the third time the Bighorn Backcountry rejected us. So, this time, well, we're only coming out for the one night. We're already here. We got a nice little camp going. We got a nice little fire going. I'm feeling pretty confident this one will not end in disaster. Alright, well, we're gonna...
Does it smell good? Do you smell cheese?
Let me put the camera away for a bit here, keep tending the fire. My hand's actually getting kind of cold from holding the camera, so I'm going to warm that up, and then it's going to be dinner time. I'm quite excited about it. 6:30 p.m. and pitch black out.
And I'm wearing like 7 shirts.
Haven't had to bust out the big puffy yet, though, so that's good.
I haven't had to put any more layers on in a while.
Got like my shell on and my rain pants on, and that's been doing a good job of just blocking whatever breeze we get and keeping the heat in, so
I don't even have my rain pants on. I'll just have my hiking pants on.
Well, they are fleece lined.
Yeah, they are.
So that helps. I don't know how much longer we're going to be out here.
We'll have some dessert, and we'll have some...
Dessert, some hot chocolate.
Well, it wasn't.
Yeah. I just realized that I made a huge mistake, and I forgot to go hang a bear line. So now I need to do that in the dark. I don't know where I'm going to do that. Oops. I'm not that worried about bears, honestly, because...
It's the little bears.
Yeah, it's the little guys, so I'm not going to go out of my way to find something that's crazy high up out of the way. I'm just going to find whatever I can that's reasonable, and...
Just enough to keep the squirrels and the mice away.
Yeah. Fire's so nice. In the winter, definitely. It is nice anytime, but I don't usually bother on our camping trips just because it's a lot of work. It's not even that much work. I don't know, I'm just lazy. But this has been alright. I'm digging this winter camping thing so far.
I like it in this temperature. I don't know how I would feel if it was legit winter.
Yeah, it's like 5 below.
Yeah, you can. My nose isn't even cold right now. But
Yeah. I guess we'll find out later in the year. I'm sure we'll try this again.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more aggressive trip later on in the year.
We need to get him a jacket.
Yeah, we do.
He has been shivering.
Once we got to camp, he started getting pretty chilly, so...
And once we stop moving. But right now, he's pretty cozy.
Yeah.
And once we get in the tent, he'll be just fine.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not worried about him. It's just... It would be more convenient to have a jacket for him, so that when we stop moving, we can just wrap him up, and then he has that added warmth, no matter what.
This is backcountry fashion, by the way.
Oh yeah, look at that. Those are some quality socks right there.
Safeway. Safeway brand. And this one is Savon, I think.
Not brand loyal. It's okay. You can see Danny's boots trying to dry out a little bit. The toes are pretty wet, so those are going to be nice and frosty for you tomorrow morning.
It's gonna suck.
Fortunately, my boots have removable liners, so they're coming into the tent with me, and then tomorrow morning I'll put on the liners and just stay in my sleeping bag a little bit until they warm up. And
I
then
kind of want to buy new winter boots just for that reason.
I gotta say, it's a nice feature.
It is a nice feature.
Just kind of lucked into it that way, but I am enjoying these boots. I don't remember what they are. I don't remember. Merrill's. They're Merrill something, but I don't remember what the exact model is. 6:30. Pitch black out.
Pitch black.
Craziness.
Super dark.
Yeah, no moon either so far. See a couple of stars poking out, but it seems like it's gonna be a pretty dark night. Alright, I'm gonna finish my tea, then I'm gonna go hang a bear line, and then dessert.
Huzzah! I baked.
Yeah?
Yeah, you want to see it?
Sure.
I made an apple crisp.
Oh, fresh out of the oven.
Yeah, and when I say I made it, I mean I did nothing.
It smells really good.
It does smell really good.
Yeah, little apple crisp and
Cocho.
hot chocolate. A little splash of peppermint schnapps in there. You know, for flavor. How is it?
Warm. Pretty good. Not really crisp, but it's good.
Good.
Kind of tastes like apple cinnamon oatmeal.
That's fine. That'll be pretty good right now. Toss the last of the firewood on there. So just let that bear down. There's a little bit left, but this is the full logs I decided not to break down. But
I put on my puffy.
yeah, I see that. Cozy?
Yeah.
Good. Managed to stay pretty comfortable without busting out the puffy, so that's nice. It's good to know that, you know, it's probably, what, 5, 7 below, something like that right now.
Away from this fire, it's quite a bit colder.
Is it?
I'm guessing
that
10
far.
below.
Okay. Yeah, curious to see how chilly it really gets this evening. But anyway, it's been pretty comfy with what I've been rocking so far. My toes are cold, but it's just because my feet got sweaty on the hike end, and I never bothered to change my socks or anything, which I would do if I was concerned, but I'm not, because we're going to eat this and drink that and then brush our teeth and go to the
And then
tent.
pack this into the tent. This fur bundle.
And then, yeah, probably just read a little bit or listen to a podcast or something.
We have some cards.
We do.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Would you like some?
Yes, I would. So, anyways, probably it for this evening. Thanks for coming along, guys. See you tomorrow morning. You look all bundled up.
I might be wearing several layers right now.
It's not a bad idea. It's kind of chilly out. Is there anything more sad than a dead fire pit?
Unless you're a dog and there's treasures.
He's digging for charcoal. We have some wood left. I could get a fire going, but I don't think we're going to be here long enough to make that worthwhile.
Just make breakfast and pack up and head around the trail.
Nice.
Try and get these boots up frosted or thawed a little bit.
Toes a little cold?
They're a little chilly.
Yeah.
They're, I don't know if you can hear it.
Frozen solid.
They're just ice cubes.
Yeah.
I'm wearing ice cubes on my feet.
That sucks. Alright, let's get some dinner going. Oh, I do need to show you guys one thing though. Look at how puffy this jacket is. It's my new Rab Neutrino Endurance. It feels like I'm wearing a sleeping bag. It's amazing.
Kind of jealous. Not kind of jealous, I'm jealous.
It is really warm. I am already 100% glad that I got it. Got it half price too, which is a good thing because it's not a cheap jacket. All right, we're gonna get some breakfast going, just a little oatmeal and coffee, and then I'll show you guys what we were doing in the tent as far as our sleeping arrangements and stuff. How we made it through our first night of winter camping. And didn't lose any fingers or anything, so
Not yet.
I'll show you that after we eat, because right now I need coffee. Alright, so it's like 9 o'clock and we're just starting to get packed up. I just wanted to show you guys a quick look at what we did as far as sleeping system last night. So that's my usual Enlightened Equipment 10-degree down quilt, so I had that. But also, we got these Sea to Summit fleece sleeping bag liners. It's kind of like a fleece mummy bag. So we put that on, and then underneath there's the normal Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite, and then we got some short length Z-Lite sole pads, also from Thermarest, that we put underneath just to get a little bit more insulation along our torsos. So, I went to bed last night with my long johns, my base layer on essentially, on the top, and on the bottom. I woke up around 3 in the morning and put on my fleece jacket, and then I was good for the rest of the night. Sorry, I was also wearing my toque, fleece toque, buff around my neck, merino wool buff, and just some heavy sleeping socks. We think it dropped down probably 10 below, 15 below. Things definitely really frosty this morning. Not sure if you can see on the tent there, but everything's got a nice layer of frost on it. And I was relatively comfortable, so I didn't use the fleece pants that I brought. I didn't use any of my other layers on the top. I didn't use the synthetic insulation booties that I caught from Enlightened Equipment. So the system that I brought, I can definitely bring down to a much colder temperature than whatever it was we had last night. So definitely felt like I packed well. Built a decent little system. Cosley's a little cold, so if we're doing any other trips with him this winter, we are going to get him a jacket and probably a small sleeping bag. Yeah, anyways, that's the gist of it. I'm going to get all this stuff packed away, and we're going to get camp broken down so we can get out of here, get a little post-hike burger, and get ready for another week of work. I'm so glad we came out. I really, really needed this, and it's been a really fun experience. Getting out of the tent this morning is a little miserable because, well, it's cold out, but otherwise, really had a good time this weekend. Super glad we came out here. Beautiful little spot, and yeah, we will have to come back. Anyways, I'm going to put this away so I can get everything packed up, and yeah, see you on the trail. The imprint where our tent was. Danny's packing up the last couple of things. We're about to get going. It's probably around 10 o'clock right now. A little slow getting going this morning because when it's dark out and it's very cold, you don't really want to get out of bed.
And things take so much longer to pack up when they're cold.
Yeah.
It took us like 10 minutes to try and get the tent pulled.
Yeah, the poles had all kind of frosted together, so that was kind of fun. I thought I was going to have to bust out the lighter and try to like heat them up a little bit, but we managed. It's all good. And it looks like we might get ourselves a nice sunny day for the walk out. It's going to be quite pretty. What a great night. That was really fun. Looking forward to getting moving though and getting out. Throw up a little victory pose. Nice. We did it. Back to the trailhead. We survived our first winter backcountry camping trip. And I gotta say, it was a pretty fun time. Sure, getting up this morning was a little bit miserable, but beyond that, I really enjoyed myself. Was exactly what I needed. So I think it's safe to say there will be more of these videos coming. Not for a little while though, because it is ski season now, so we're going to be doing that the next few weeks. And then Christmas. And the days are short and cold, and I would imagine late February, early March we'll try to get out again and do another trip, maybe a multi-day trip next time, because this went really well. Anyways, car's just around the corner here, so we're gonna pack it up and say goodbye. Thanks, everyone for coming along on another Adventure Happy trip. And stay tuned. There'll be more coming soon.